Well, there are two ways to do it's interesting, and I was with Ed Snowden in Moscow and talked a lot about this because he's got the technical. He's first of all an excellent and principled person, and his X feed is a really good place to start for people to understand what's happening here. He's paid a huge price for being he's literally exiled to Moscow involuntarily, but there are a couple ways to do it. One, you could hack into Signal, I guess. It's open source. It was created with CIA money, as I'm sure you know. I'm not sure that's how I don't think you'd need to do that. You just capture the phone itself. You just capture the phone. And the bottom line on digital security is that nothing is safe from state actors who want to spy on you, period. There's no electronic communication that they can't monitor, period.
What about these things like Eric Prince has some new phone out? I think it's called Unplugged.
Yeah, Eric is a good friend of mine, and I have a couple of those phones, and I've talked to him a lot about it, and he's really a wonderful person, one of my favorite people, actually. But that phone is designed for a different purpose, I think, I know, and that phone is designed to keep Apple and Google from tracking you, which is sort of a separate category. Like,
was this Jimmy?
This is the bill, I believe. I think.
Which bill?
The one you were talking about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
House bill on
so
Section
that's it.
702 to enlarge government's power
can we
to
just
spy
roll
on
down to what
journalists.
you highlighted? So this is like a perfect example. So the Turner-Himes bill, Congressman Mike Turner and Jim Himes. So who are Mike Turner and Jim Himes? So it'd just be funny. Both those guys are the most, and who knows why, and you can sort of fill in the blank on motive. I'm not going to. But those are two of the most reliable water carriers for the intel agencies and for basically the federal bureaucracy in the Congress. Like, these are not people who are working for their constituents. These are people who are working for permanent Washington. I would say these are two of the most sinister people. I know more about Turner than Himes. But so it's not surprising they're doing this. It would permit federal law enforcement to also force any other service provider with access to communications equipment to hand over data. Anyone with access to a Wi-Fi router, server, or even phone, anyone from a landlord to a laundromat will be required to help the government spy. So that's the story right there. So basically,
Warrantless.
oh, of course, warrantless, absolutely. And in violation of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, as if anyone cares anymore. No one does, clearly. But I just remember when I was a kid, and we're roughly the same generation, you remember this too. People would be like, oh, East Germany, like there are more spies than there are people. East Germany was like the most elaborate surveillance state ever created, and of course it collapsed. But we'd always make fun of East Germany or North Korea. Who has more privacy, the average North Korean or the average American? Well, obviously the average North Korean, because there's less technology. The U.S. government spies on its own population more than the North Korean government spies on its. That's just a fact. I'm not saying North Korea is preferable. I'm not moving there. I'm not carrying water for North Korea. What I'm doing is criticizing my government because I live here, because it was better, it can be better, it should be better, and it only will be when we demand it. And it's not some fucking esoteric, like you have to be some crazy civil liberties lawyer or something. Like, every person should demand, just as a starting point, a baseline, that no, you're not allowed to spy on me. I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
No privacy, no humanity. You can't be fully human without privacy.
And you also have to take into consideration that these people that are ahead of these intelligence agencies that are requesting these data they're just human beings. They're human beings requesting data from other human beings without going through a court, without going to a judge and getting a warrant, without stating a case, without having like some clear national security mandate, something.
Of course not. Yeah. And there's no justification. I mean, by the way, we had FISA. We've had the FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, since I think 1977. So it predates 9/11. Did it stop 9/11? Oh, I don't think it did. Shut the fuck up. You're not protecting us, actually. You open the southern border to anyone who wants to come. You're not checking IDs. You're not doing any kind of biometrics. You're not even screening for COVID. So clearly you don't care about my safety. Stop telling me you do. You don't. You're a criminal. Stop this charade. You don't care about my safety. So using my safety as a pretext for spying on me, it's not going to fly, because I'm not that stupid. I may be kind of stupid. I'm not that stupid. No, you're doing this for one simple reason, because this is what organizations do. They protect themselves. They exist for their own benefit. All human organizations, from the Church Bake Sale Committee to the Department of Justice, they all are the same. They're an organism, just like any other. And an organism's main goal is to survive and reproduce, to get bigger. And you just see this throughout the federal bureaucracy. Well, it just so happens that the largest human organization in history is the federal government of the United States. And so all of this stuff benefits, it accrues to its own power. That's why, like, let's say you believed every, quote, piece of science or scientific claim about global climate change. You would not reach the same policy conclusions. You'd be like, well, the first thing we need to do is ban private air travel, because obviously that doesn't make any sense. And then the second thing we need to do is, whatever. You'd look at it rationally from a scientific, if you bought the premise, which I don't, but if you did, you would. No, you go through every climate, quote, climate demand. Not one of them disempowers large organizations, whether it's NGOs or the government of the United States. Not one of them. They all make the government more powerful, and they all make you less powerful. So that's when you know it's not really about the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. It's about making them more powerful and disempowering you. And it's not about who runs those agencies. The bigger the agency, the more effective it will be in doing what all human organizations do, which is protect themselves and increase their power. It's like that. It's fundamental. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's not about, elect Trump, it'll change. No, it'll only change when, we're just eliminating the CIA. And we're going to have a small intel gathering service that feeds the president relevant information so we can make informed foreign policy decisions. But we're not going to overturn elections in other countries in the name of democracy, because that's insane. If we believe in democracy, then we're going to let people vote for their own leaders because we believe in democracy as a principle. Right? You just get rid of all this shit because it's not helping us. It's only hurting us. And it would take someone, who'd be willing to be assassinated to do anything like that. And so as you're choosing your leaders, ask yourself, does this person mean it enough to die? And that's the same question you would ask about your own dad. Does he love me enough to die for me? About your own husband, does he love me enough to protect me from a home invader at risk to himself? The basic prerequisite for leadership is love of the people you lead and the willingness to die for them. And if you don't have that, you shouldn't be leading, period. It's true in the military, it's true in business, it's true in your home, and it's true in the government. And so no president will fix this unless he's literally willing to die for it. And short of that, it can't be fixed.
I can think of no better way to end this conversation than that.
Joe Rogan, ladies and gentlemen.
You just nailed it. Well, listen, man, it's been very fun getting to know you. I think you are you're